Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Weather Blender blog for December 11th, 2010. Spencer Adkins here with you. We've been talking about a storm here for quite some time, and it looks like it's just about here. So let's find out what's going to happen on the weekend. And a little different look here compared to some of the other things that we've done. Let's just check out, first of all, the advisories. We do have winter storm watches posted out for southeast Kentucky and all the mountain counties of West Virginia. Those would start if they change into winter storm warnings. Those would change over on Sunday and run until Tuesday morning for the combination of rain changing into snow, which means there would be ice underneath that. You'd have blowing and drifting snow and the upslope snow flow. All right, here's a radar composite. And you can see this is a Saturday afternoon, rain across Illinois, rain in Indiana, rain just about to Lexington, Kentucky. The blue would be your snow. Snow across Iowa, good bit up through Wisconsin, and really coming down in some very heavy bands there across central sections of Wisconsin and Minnesota. All right, so let's move over to the surface map. A little different look at that. It's the same radar look, but you can see an area of low pressure over Iowa and another one off the east coast, just east of, let's say, Charleston, South Carolina, with a little high pressure squeezed in between. And actually, it's been a pretty nice Saturday. But let's jump out, and I want to show you just a little different map. Instead of showing you all the different weather models, this is a little different way of plotting it. Where is this surface low going to be over time? And let's take the red circles. Each red circle represents a particular weather model. And I wanted to show you how things can kind of spread out over time. So it's a pretty good grouping of where the model thinks that the low would be over Iowa, and that's where it has proven to be. And that's during Saturday afternoon. By 7 o'clock Saturday, you can see the green grouping. Very tight grouping of those green triangles. That's good confidence. Spreads out a little bit by Sunday morning. The black line, that's kind of the best fit. If you took statistics, that's kind of the best fit line right there. And again, you can see the low could actually be sitting even over Huntington if it was the outlier, way on the outside to the south and to the east. But that's a pretty big if. Looks like it'll be closer to Toledo. That's on the morning Sunday. Sunday afternoon, evening, now we have that secondary low developing off the coast, right around the Delmarva. Obviously, you can get some pretty interesting interactions with that, and that could really crank up the snow totals across the Great Lakes. Again, as we watch that low continue to remain split, it's two surface lows at this point. Really, the locations totally fan out and become very, well, disparate, I guess we'll put it that way. Completely different as you get out toward the end of the model run. And that's exactly what you tend to see. So that's just a little different way of looking at the models. Now, here's our model. We call it RPM, our predictor. And look in the upper right-hand corner, you see Saturday, 9:30, green is rain. It's all just rain, and it's just getting up to the Huntington area. We skip ahead all the way to Sunday morning. A little bit of snow, maybe some mix-up in Greenbrier County, Pocahontas County because of the cold air locked in there. But you see just rain, Charleston, Huntington, a thin ribbon of the mixture around Portsmouth, and then just a little bit of snow. Now that's in the morning, 8 a.m. Sunday. And then we get a push here from the west of the cold air. This is at lunchtime, noontime. Charleston seeing the snow, Spencer seeing the snow, on over to Lewisburg, White Sulphur Springs, and on up into Pocahontas County, down through Beckley and Bluefield. But you'll notice it's already drying out in Huntington. And actually, if you look, there's a little gap of sunshine around Portsmouth and points to the west. By 6 o'clock, there's not a lot of snow. So a lot of people are going to be saying, well, gee, that wasn't much going on, although it will start to really drop temperature-wise. But then this is the end of our model run, our RPM model run, 3 a.m. You can start to see that northwesterly flow really picking up off the Great Lakes and jamming the snow into southeast Kentucky, southern West Virginia, even around Parkersburg. And the last time we had the flow coming in off of Lake Michigan, we had quite the fetch that came in and kind of curved, went just south of Columbus and scooted on into places like Spencer, through about, areas around Sissonville. Meanwhile, downtown Charleston didn't even see that much snow, but we saw several inches just to the north of town. And we saw, oh boy, all kinds of snow in places like Webster Springs, and that's what we're going to see again. So by 8:30 Sunday, this is our projected snowfall. It's only 1 to 2 inches, southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, western West Virginia, 2 to 4 already in the mountains. But that mountain area is going to continue to just see the snow pop and pop and pop. And now this is what we think again, at least I'll show you two of the weather models that are possibilities here. This is the NAM weather model, and this is at 7 a.m. Tuesday. So you still have that northwesterly flow all day on Monday. 1 to 2 inches around Charleston, Huntington, and southern Ohio. Much of eastern Kentucky is in that light blue around 2 inches. The yellow is about 3 inches. You can see how it steps up to a bullseye of about 8 inches up on the higher terrain, eastern Nicholas County, and so forth. Again, we move out to the GFS model, and there's quite a bit more snow for our friends in the Great Lakes at upper Michigan. Let's say from that big bullseye that we saw in Wisconsin, Minnesota, 12 to 18 inches there. 2 to 4 inches still looks like a pretty good bet around Huntington. And again, it's about 10 inches plus as you move on up toward Marlinton and on up towards Snowshoe. So those are certainly options, but with blowing and drifting, certainly not going to be out of the question to see something like 10 to 20 inches of snow on the high terrain of West Virginia by the time this thing kind of winds down on Wednesday. 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts not going to be out of the question. Wind chills will be below zero on Sunday night and Monday night in many locations. So all this is adding up for just one huge wintry mix. Could be many delays. We'll have to see as far as school, but don't expect to see a whole lot of snow, let's say, until really Sunday night and Monday in the mountainous areas of West Virginia where we have those winter storm watches. And of course, we'll keep you posted with more information. Hope that gets you up to speed right here on the Weather Blender blog.